to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm Brian, Jason, Joe, Kevin are all here. Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. How are you?
I'm kind of thrown off. Is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Is it Wednesday? What day is it, Brian?
Yeah. As of recording, it is Tuesday. Kind of feels like a Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. This should be out on Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving on Thursday. There's a lot happening, buddy, like you said.
So, Joe, I know I don't like you, but I got to say, your background looks pretty cool today.
Well, thank you.
Is that your wife's room?
What was that?
Is that your wife's room?
No, it's my basement.
Oh, it's a new look because normally you don't have that look in your basement.
No, I'm changing things around. So yes, it is the basement now. Best Wi-Fi.
It's like you're a basement talker. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing.
It works.
There.
It works.
It's a new day. Yes, it is. Well, hey, Jason, I know can't stay super long as last
Thanksgiving miracle.
Oh my God! All right, easy. But we wanted
my staying power is not what it used to be.
Unbelievable, but
you're old.
We will give thanks for that. But no, this past Saturday or Sunday? Saturday, right?
Yeah.
You got to go check out WWE. Live in Canton, Ohio, and we want to hear all about this.
Yeah, so it was technically Saturday night's main event. That's what they call their Saturday night house shows, and I believe Sunday SmackDown, I think, or Sunday Stunner, I think is what they call it. Sundays.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where we did some family stuff in Ohio, and I got a niece and a couple nephews who. Kind of a combination of they would have been bored doing the adult stuff, and me personally didn't really want to be involved with the adult stuff because that was a lot of work that I just didn't want to do. So if you're listening to the podcast, in finger quotes, I'm saying wrestling was for the kids, close quote, but we all know I'm
almost choked
the
biggest kid
of all of them. So I talked to my two nephews who I have taken to wrestling before, but they don't remember. So when they were younger, so they don't really remember. They get my niece, 13 years old, 14 years old, girl, enough said. She wouldn't call me back for 2 weeks once I had these plans set. So I had no idea what her reaction was going to be. So the Canton Memorial Civic Center, very small building. I don't know what they do there. I don't know if there's a college there. I don't know if it's like a rec center, but it was a big gym, but not big enough. Kind of, Brian, the Whalers, Plymouth Whalers.
Yes, sure.
That was
CompuWare.
So if you could imagine the CompuWare Arena, but there was no concourse. So it was just seats.
Oh, wow.
Just seats in the room. And then the concourse was around. But this looked like a place that didn't get a lot of love. So I was excited that I was there. And it dawned on me many years ago, I went there to see TNA wrestling.
Oh, cool.
And I met Kurt Angle, and he could give two shits that I was from Pittsburgh. I met Jeff Jarrett. I told him how awesome the DVD was, and he actually, engaged. So we get there, and we didn't tell the kids where the seats were. They actually asked me, and they're like, well, where are the seats at? And I'm like, yeah, they're not great. They're not the best. Well, Brian, I sent you the video. I didn't know my wife filmed this, but us walking in and just getting closer and closer to the ring. We were in the second row. It was pretty awesome. And the kids are like, well, you said these weren't good.
They weren't the best. They weren't first. They weren't front row.
Yeah,
they were
according to my wife, they're not the best.
I know.
Jason, what does sarcasm mean?
Oh no, these kids know sarcasm.
14-year-old girls, yes.
Yeah. So we got there, and it was just a typical house show. Sammy and Dom were the first match. I'm not gonna remember all the matches, but Raquel and Nia had a match. Cody and Priest had a match, which led to the intermission. And it's funny because Cody won the match. Spoiler alert. For someone who cares about a live event that happened a week ago. Then he got on the mic and he was just talking. He goes, yeah, we're going to have intermission. And I'm just going to kind of hang, take pictures, sign autographs. And then like all hell broke loose. Everyone all the pores, poured second row, rushed the front. It was a shit show. From there, Omos and MVP came out.
Oh, fun.
We all know how big Omos is. And to a 11 and 12-year-old boy, they were like, what is this? Who is this?
That's great.
And it was a $10,000 open challenge. And Joe, your guy, Tozawa, answered the challenge.
All right.
And lost the challenge.
What?
Shocking.
Crazy. So Omos was a favorite. And then we got Gunther and Chad Gable.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh, they loved Gunther because of the slaps.
The slaps are generational.
Oh, that close. How loud are they?
Yeah.
It was fun. I have video. I've just been so busy. I haven't had a chance to do any editing to it. So hopefully in the next couple of days, I'll get that up. But my niece didn't really give a shit.
Oh,
it was just a lot of, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see me just doing, just moping.
Grumpy face.
So, Gable came out, did a couple things. And I just went like right up in her face and I went, thank you. Over and over and over. And I just kept doing it. Finally, she laughed. And then she got me. Shoosh.
Nice.
She got
Wrestling's fun, kids. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So main event was a badass triple threat. Rollins, Drew, and Nakamura was fucking awesome. Got some pretty good footage from that. And Becky Lynch, her part of her weave fell out. Now, we did find out that friend of the show, Barbara Ryan, went to the Saginaw show Sunday night.
The very next night, yeah.
And we think it was exactly the same. Now, I said if Becky's weave fell out Sunday, that's just part of the show now. That wasn't a happy accident after her 0 for 60 event on Jeopardy.
Right.
So, I mean, look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. House shows are a fucking blast. If you have the opportunity to go. You don't have to be bougie and douchebaggy like me and have to sit in the first couple rows. You can go and just have fun. Like I said, there's no time constraints on commercials, so they can take their time. And I don't know what it is, but sitting that close made me realize if you just slow down a little bit, wrestling is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like I was watching Wrestling Revolver on Fight Plus, and their play-by-play woman, Vita Scott, her tempo and her pace was awesome. It wasn't, it was just, it was pretty awesome. And then that was Thursday or Friday. And then this show on Saturday that I went to, and just, I don't know, I just started doing commentary and I'm kind of learning, ins and outs and how it all works. And I'm like, yeah, slow and steady kind of works. So pretty pumped for that. I only got a couple more minutes. I don't know what is next, but
well, just the kids' reaction after we're done. You think they would go again and they'd be like, this was fun? What's kind of the overall sentiment after everything finished up?
To my face, they had fun.
Behind your back, it's
whole
a different
nother
story.
Come on. They could turn heel on Uncle Jason. I don't know. But I think I'm going to hit him up with a couple shirts for Christmas. And, what sucks is they don't have the shoosh shirts anymore. My niece would eat that shit up so I'm kind of digging to try to find
it sold out. Yeah.
And then like Omos and Gunther, probably will go to the boys. Like I said, they are good kids, so they might have actually liked it, or they may have liked it because the biggest kid in the group really, really liked it. So, but
That's
Christmas
great.
is coming, so they might be kissing up because they know, they know who I am, as you guys know, when it comes to gift giving. I'm the champ, and they know that too. So, yeah,
your reputation precedes you, no doubt about that. One other thing about the show: when did Damian Priest cash in for money?
He did not.
Come on, it's one of these days. He's gonna run out of time. I'm begging for it.
Well, and I haven't got to Raw either, so he may have cashed it on Raw. No, he did not cash it in Canton, Ohio. Maybe Barbara Ryan can check in and let us know in the comments if he cashed in Saginaw, right? Yeah, Saginaw.
Saginaw, yeah. Sag Nasty, as Cody appropriately called it in the little video that I saw later on. Because Jay, didn't you do a little thing at wrestling school with Alicia Taylor of NXT?
No, Alicia.
Am I making that up?
Alicia is actually an acquaintance. She was on my old podcast, and I was 2 feet from her the whole night, but I didn't want to bother her and yell at her.
Okay, yeah. So she was there.
She was the host. So
yeah.
She's been on Raw lately. She's been on SmackDown lately. They hire these hosts at NXT to train them to do that, and then eventually they move up into the ring announcer role, backstage stuff. So like it's kind of that training ground. Now, if I was, I'm not gonna lie, I never wanted to be a wrestler, and I had no idea that wrestling schools for all the other things were a thing. But I did it too. I mean, I'm too old now, but like I'm not gonna lie, sitting there watching her, I'm like, God, that'd be so much fun. Just to announce, and like Nia got in her face, they got it was just fun. And one last thing, and then I gotta go.
Yeah.
My wife is so pissed at me. We were driving home, and they didn't like Nia Jax. Well, they're two little boys, so you can imagine the comments they were making about Nia Jax.
Oh, unbelievable.
So they weren't talking about her work rate like I do.
No, but
they should.
They should. That's what they should focus on. Some
idiot in the car said, "Oh, Nia Jax has this funny video where she talks about her hole."
Yeah. Oh my God.
And you were like, no.
Oh, well.
What hole, Uncle Jason?
Well, I think
they're 11.
Well, then they Googled it on YouTube. So they found it. And my wife was like, they think you mean vagina, right? Because, these kids, what it is. Like, they wanted to play. My nephew, Nick, was like, hey, I've seen The Rock on TV, and he did this thing. Can I play it for you? And I'm like, I don't know.
Let's see.
My wife's like, go ahead. So he hits the Google, and he's like, shut your bitch ass up. Like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. It's I've been away from family for so long, and like I said, I don't know if those kids actually enjoyed it, but to my face, they did. And when they come back to Michigan or Ohio or whatever, I'll do it again. And Brian, I hope maybe you can get at least Harper there, maybe in the next year if possible, because I think she might get it. She might have some fun with it. Maybe too young yet, but who knows? And Brett,
I think we could. Yeah, there's the post-Christmas house show. I was actually talking to Barbara Ryan today, and I said, and maybe Santa, if she's good, we'll get her her first show. We'll see. We'll see.
Is that at Little
TWP
Caesars?
Exclusive?
Might have to.
Is that at Little Caesars or is it somewhere else?
It is at Little Caesars, correct?
Might have to take her to the Sweet Life.
Yeah. We'll just have to see about that. We'll have to see about that, man. Yeah, right after Christmas. All right, Jay. Any final words then before the wife kills you?
Thank you.
Appropriately enough. Thank you, Jason. I'm glad he got to come on and talk about his Canton house show experience.
Thanks for letting me come on. Yeah.
Can't miss that.
Enjoy.
Creative editing there. All right. So before we get into, we're going to talk quickly about Survivor Series and all the preview and predictions coming up for that. I want to talk about AEW Full Gear because I watched it. Shout out to my new cable TV system. It's pretty damn good. And so I got to watch Full Gear. You guys, I know Kevin and I were texting during the night. Joe, I'm guessing that maybe you
No,
know,
I didn't
at
watch
least
it.
no, I'm sure you didn't watch, but maybe you followed along on like, oh, okay, what happened online? With
I
the
was following a
results.
little bit,
So, yeah,
fell asleep, and then got the rest of the report the next morning, like I
yeah.
typically do for an AEW pay-per-view. Because isn't it still going up?
I was starting to doze off during the main event of MJF Jay White, and I prefaced that I was on our TWP Twitter account saying, hey, since I'm watching this, might as well throw out some results and some thoughts of the show. And I prefaced that I was drinking, and it was a 50-50 chance that I even make it to the end. Well, we got to the finish line, just barely, but we did. So let me tell you just a quick highlight and a quick, I guess, low light, if you will. The highlight: go out of your way to find the Swerve versus Hangman Texas
Watch it.
match. Holy cow! All right,
Yes.
so give me Joe. Let's hear your
Okay,
thoughts.
I'm typically not a big fan of like
Correct.
violence and long matches just to be long.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that NXT back in the black and yellow days used to do a lot with their main events. It'd be like 35 minutes when it didn't need to be, and blood just for blood. But this one told a story.
Big time.
And like they really were playing it off like they hated each other, and this was a real blood feud. So I was invested in the whole thing, and when it was over, I was like, "Wow, that lasted that long." Because when I first looked it up and saw the time, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I keep hearing things about this, but I'm gonna watch it."
Mm-hmm.
And it lived up to the hype, and I'm very happy that Swerve won because it was like one of the only ones I got correct in our prediction show. I did not do well at all.
I had Hangman too, so yeah, I missed that.
You had Hangman, I had Swerve, but I had the guns. I had I think Swerve and MJF and Orange Cassidy were my only wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's intense, and it lives up to what that feud was building, where Swerve invaded Hangman's house. He was talking to his baby in the crib, saying like, "You owe me." That's personal, and this match delivered on that personal conflict. There was no waiting for the bell. There was no, handshake when the match started. They hated each other, Hangman especially. And my God, Kev, I was texting you about it. The moment of Swerve bleeding and Hangman going underneath him to take the blood in the mouth and spit it out like Triple H in his water. I will remember that for a long time. I yelled.
It was gross. It was gross.
Oh God, it was.
Yeah,
Are you
it was
kidding
gross.
me? People, the crowd, like stood up because it was just like, what the F is this? Yes, I could not believe what I had just watched. Yeah, I don't want to ever see that again, but holy cow, what a moment that was of just how insane that match was going to be. And it was. We had the glass and a 450 splash on the glass and just a barbed wire and everything. Yeah, I think the only thing I didn't care for about that was Brian Cage's interference. It didn't need that. That was unnecessary. Everything else about it was fucking fantastic. So one of my favorite AEW matches of the year. The low lights, or low light, I guess I'll just say. The MJF whole story that they told. They started with that Ring of Honor tag team title match, and after that's over, which Samoa Joe was the partner, and they win. After that's over, they like Pillmanized his leg. The pre-show goes off the air with him leaving in an ambulance and Adam Cole escorting him to there, and MJF saying like, "Don't let him take my title." So the pay-per-view, begins with saying that MJF can't defend the title. Adam Cole, after Jay White's about to get awarded the title, comes out and says, I'll fight for the title. Tony Khan apparently makes that official. So the whole night's like, what are they doing? What is this? Is this going to be some big swerve and Cole isn't hurt after all? Okay, it had my interest. And then nothing really happened. The match was about to start. MJF had taken an ambulance and he comes back. So he does wrestle after all. But the match wasn't all that good because MJF is selling this injury. So like he would get some offense in and then go down. And then it'd be like slow of just nothing's happening because he can't fight back. And he ends up winning, right? He ends up using the ring. And the show just goes off the air. There's no devil. There's no Adam Cole turn or anything. It was just a whole lot of nonsense. And I think that a lot of AEW diehard fans are pissed about it. Just going like, what is this? What did you like want to accomplish by setting up this whole injury angle and Adam Cole and like, oh, hey, you want to talk about plot holes? How come Adam Cole is allowed to fight for the heavyweight title, but couldn't defend his tag team title with MJF? Huh. Okay, how about when MJF came to the ring after the ambulance, there was like 15 security guards saying, no, you can't come down here. Meanwhile, Adam Cole, who's on crutches, just let him wrestle. Just let him, he goes in. So there's a whole lot of, with wrestling, you always have to,
suspend.
You take your logic hat and only use it sometimes. But boy, there was a whole lot of just, why is this happening right now? So I think that was a rare miss. Overall, I enjoyed the show. All the other matches were fair to very good, I would say. But that main event left a lot to be desired. Kev, any other thoughts that you had from our texts or what you read about on the show?
You gave really good detailed text. I felt like I was somewhat watching the show, especially during the swerve. I did watch a few of the clips of MJF, the cutter, him jumping over the ropes, taking Jay White.
That was a cool spot.
That was crazy. And then MJF doing like a macho elbow to the ground when Jay White was already on a collapsed table. Ouch. That's all I could think of was ouch and ouch. I didn't watch the entire match, but I will have to go back and watch that Swerve Hangman and definitely find it. The stapler to the face. Ouch.
Oh, I know we didn't talk about that.
But,
oh my God. Yeah, those guys, holy cow, they earned their money that night. So yeah, for sure go walk that. I mean, that match ended. I was like, what the heck's going to follow this? And they put on the women's triple match.
Another premium live event tomorrow night. What's going to follow it? That would be Survivor Series.
And I'll watch that one.
Yeah, I'll watch that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. That's Saturday night. It's Survivor Series. War Games.
Whoop, whoop.
Let's go through the card. We'll kind of go through some of the setups that happen with these matches too, just to get your guys' thoughts on those, along with giving your prediction, of course. We've got Carlito versus Santos Escobar. We talked last week about Santos turning on Rey. Did you see his promo on SmackDown? I thought that was a star-making performance by him, talking crap on Rey and his surgery. Did you guys like this as much as I did?
I thought he looked like $1 million. His entrance, he's back to looking like, I don't want to say the word like drug lord, but he looks like that stereotypical cocky.
He had that Scarface matching look.
It was fantastic.
He's now a leader, not a follower. That was his moment. So yeah. It's and he's gonna win. I'm sad. He's gonna win tomorrow night. It's like Carlito's there, just put him over.
He needed the LWO to get over on the main roster, I think, though.
Yeah, because
that's the biggest thing.
It wasn't working with the group at first. He was just basically a guy. Now he's the guy.
Oh, it's so
good. That
goosebumps type promo.
I love. I hope your leg gets infected and they have to amputate it. Michael Cole going, cut his mic off. I was like, wow, this is great. So Love it. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. I think Santos has to win
100%.
for this. So, no question there. Miz versus Gunther. This has been set up for a couple of weeks now, and they had a very interesting face-to-face on Monday night. And I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on how that face-to-face went. It was pretty
lengthy.
Intense. Yeah.
It was lengthy. That was the nice thing. It wasn't like 2 minutes. I would have to go back and look, but I was like, okay, this is going a while. This is going nice. I thought the Miz, he
motivated Miz is a great Miz.
He panders to the crowd when he's a bad guy, right? When he's a heel, gets him. But I love it when he like sucks up to the crowd. Some of my favorites, to them when he's exactly. Some of my favorites: Macho Man Randy Savage, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michael. Like in it's like still you want to like punch his perfect teeth, and you know what I mean, like because he looks like a jerk, but that's part of the persona. I love it. Yeah. I absolutely loved it. I love the back and forth. He called him an entertainer, and the Miz was like, "You're damn right, I'm an entertainer. I've been doing this. I entertain." I thought it was good. If it's a one-off, perfect, right? But I think that one. I think Gunther's going to win 100%.
I don't.
I feel that
I don't.
Miz
I'm feeling Miz
is going to take the belt.
So this has worked for you, Joe. You think Miz is a credible challenger
because he's going to tie the record. He's also Mr. Intercontinental Champion of the past 20 years. So why wouldn't you consider him a credible threat? He knows how to win that championship because he's won it 8 times before. He's going for number 9. And let's be quite honest. Gunther has been an amazing IC champ, but it's time for him to move on. And you're giving Miz all the credit in the world for that back and forth. When he started saying, "I want to bully you," and was doing the little shove and everything, I felt that. That was all on him. So let's give Gunther some credit too. This has been a better feud than it had any right to be, based on a fatal 4-way of let's see who gets to go in, and there was a botch finish sort of, but the right guy went over, and now it's a feud that the Miz is a credible threat. He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion winner, so you can't say he can't win.
Yeah,
so I'm picking Miz.
I'm picking Miz. He won't win though.
No, I'm saying he is. It's time for Gunther to move up the rankings and win the Royal Rumble.
All right, Bri, break the tie. Who do you think?
I'm going Gunther. I think it's just one of those. Until he loses, I would pick him every time, sort of thing.
Worked so well with Cody last year.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe I'll be proven wrong, and I wouldn't be mad at that. I thought. When this was in the infancy of being set up, I was kind of like, I know Miz is this almost a legendary performer.
He is a legendary performer.
Well, right, but like he's in the moment, right? So it's not like I'm talking in the past.
20 years, one injury, 2-time Grand Slam champion. Yeah. He's a legendary performer.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Damn zombies.
You're right. Yeah. So
he survived the zombies.
He did. He lived to tell of it.
And the writing on the wrist of his first Tough Enough hosting SmackDown.
Yes.
But he ended up with Maurice. But I'll say this. It's
the diva search.
Yeah.
Where Carlito and Santos is a nice little appetizer, right? You get a meal with Miz and Gunther to prepare ourselves for both War Games matches. That's the thing. So it's not like junk match, 2 great War Games matches. It's a step up from the first match. I'm guessing we'll see Carlito Escobar first, but we'll see. I think Gunther and Miz is definitely gonna be good.
Yeah, and this has been a better setup than I could imagine. I think the match will be very good. So I'm all for it. I still will pick Gunther as my winner, but great job setting this up. Sure,
you're both wrong.
Guilty. I think this is a quick one. Zoe Starks versus Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, she's there too.
Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea.
Yeah, it's just
mommy.
It is what it is, right? That's how
I forgot that match was even on there. So
me too.
That's why I checked my rundown. All right, so let's get to the War Games. Women's War Games. It's Charlotte, Shotzi, Bianca, and the fourth member, as we talked a little bit last week, is Becky Lynch, and they're taking on, of course, Damage Control. Guys, I was not happy with Becky Lynch being the fourth member. We talked about Jade Cargill. I talked Liv Morgan. But I was just annoyed with this because of the brand split, and it's now not a thing for this match, and it bothered me. Did you guys? Did it bother you like it did me? And who's coming out on top for this one?
I didn't bother me as much when it was the announcement that, you know, the men's could go, they could find a teammate anywhere, right? That they wanted. If they would have said, nope, you 100% have to find someone on Monday Night Raw, then I would have been a little bit more annoyed. It only made sense for the fact where Charlotte's on there, they're pushing Shotzi big time, and Bianca, they needed, I would say, someone with a big star power to make Shotzi even look more and more up to that level, because they have to have something in the future for Shotzi to even stand next to those three. That's the thing.
Damage Control wins, and I gotta disagree
100%.
about Shotzi because Shotzi's there to take the pinfall. Shotzi is the Cameron Grimes of this match, only there to take the pinfall.
But I agree. The damage control.
You can't have the new and improved Damage Control lose their first match.
So I wouldn't completely rule that out because of the fun tension of like Bailey not knowing like what the girls are saying sometimes.
It out to Mania.
She's feeling I think like a bit uneasy on things, which I love that wrinkle in the story. So maybe there's something that furthers this along. Bailey takes the pin and maybe further the sense that I would still go with Damage Control, but the one I'm not quite as sure on. Men's War Games. It is the Judgment Day, and as we got confirmed, Drew McIntyre being the fifth, and it's Cody, it's Seth, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and it is official, even though you didn't even have to say it, but they're promoting it now officially. Randy Orton is back.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was were you guys? I was surprised when Cody did his teases, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, "This is the guy I have a legacy with." And the crowd went nuts. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, "You guys remember
Ted DiBiase Jr.?"
This isn't DX or Evolution. Like, Legacy is not some legendary.
You're the prey, and we have an apex predator.
People love
and then
that
the voices.
And the voices in his head, and then he said, "Ain't Randy Orton."
The voices in my head.
Yeah. So Randy's back. That's exciting. It's very exciting. So what's the play here, guys? Joe, who comes out on top?
Oh, Team Cody. Team Cody comes out on top. And I'm gonna say Damian Priest takes the pinfall because he's been saying he's the leader for so long.
Oh, okay.
And that takes away his cashing in at the end.
Yeah.
The obvious pick is JD, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be Priest getting a little cocky, and he takes the pinfall. And Judgment Day can lose and still be on top.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kev?
I actually think the same exact thing. Damian Priest takes the pinfall, and I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre giving a Claymore by accident to Damian Priest, which will then set up the pin on Damian.
Oh, by the way, how amazing was it that Drew said exactly what I said on last week's podcast on why he did it?
About getting after
apparently
Jay.
Apparently I'm a true fan of Drew McIntyre because he said my true fans understand while the rest of you be gone. And I'm like, I said that exactly. He only attacked Jay. He didn't attack Cody. He said exactly what I said. So Drew, thanks for listening.
I thought the opening of Raw was strong with his promo in the ring as well. That you alluded to right there. Bri, who do you think? Do you think Damian's going to take the pin, or you got one of other 9 guys?
Cashing in.
I don't think he's cashing in, is what I think. By the way, hold on this joke. Joe is president of the Claymore Club, apparently. It's a pretty fun thing.
Oh, the CC.
Yeah, the CC. Yeah, I think we'll go with the Team Cody as pulling out the victory. But, that's the thing about Randy Orton. Maybe after the match, maybe after the win, he drops Cody with an RKO. So Yes, that's a
Oh, yeah, I
total
can see that
Randy
coming.
Orton move of just, I came out, I did my thing, but by the way, F you, Cody, and do that. So I'm keeping an eye on that, but yeah, I'll still say, yeah, the good guys go on top, and there was some tension on Raw between Drew and Priest, so maybe that comes into play during the match or in future episodes. But yeah, I think the card looks fun. Five matches total, and it is 5, right? I'm double checking my notes now.
Your math is good.
Yeah, 5 matches total. The War Games matches take a long time, so that's gonna be a big part of the night. Last question, guys. Will we see or will we hear Cult of Personality on Saturday night?
Only if it's on your playlist.
I think we're gonna hear This Fire Burns.
Are we doing that? We bringing that back?
I think I'll say no, but if I hear it, I would rather be shocked than think it and then be like, why did I think it?
Yeah.
Type situation. I will say this. I think there's a stronger chance that Damian Priest somehow cashes in his briefcase versus us seeing CM. But if it happens, hey, make it work, because it would all be under Triple H's brain child, right? In his whatever's in his mind. And I don't question that man. So if he brings him back, there's got to be a good program and a good reason to.
Yeah. As we've gotten closer to this date, I've kind of wanted it to happen more than I would have thought. Just thinking about potential matchups and everything. All signs, I think, are pointing to no. It's the wrestling business. Anything could happen.
He's not needed.
He's not needed.
He's not needed.
There are some cool fantasy booking things that I have been like, ooh, I'd like to see that.
Then go find yourself a copy of SmackDown versus Raw 2009 and make your fantasy push matchups there.
I'm not doing all that.
Question.
So lazy. Yes.
Is Shinsuke doing anything at Survivor Series?
No, he's not.
No.
Well, he's not announced. I mean, something could change.
He's had a lot of promos. Maybe the only thing I can think of is if CM Punk if someone comes out to the ring and he goes, confronts or something. But I say, low chance. But the card on paper, it looks entertaining. It's going to be good.
0 chance. Never say never. I'm saying never.
And I think the Randy Orton, the kind of the announcement that was a tease and he didn't show up, I think that's done in part to not have the Chicago crowd be chanting CM Punk the entire night. They're going to get Randy Orton for the very first time in probably a year and a half.
Since last July.
18 months. Yeah.
Yes. So it's going to be something that'll blow the roof off in Chicago on Saturday night. Yeah, going to be big. Well, that's going to do it. Hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I hope you and yours have a happy Thanksgiving. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast and at That WrestlePod for all your social media. Whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. Everybody enjoy Survivor Series. Enjoy War Games. That was terrible. And have a great
War Games.
Thank you, Joe. Happy Thanksgiving. We will talk to you next week.
Go Lions.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That WrestlePod on social media.